Hello everyone and welcome to Bridge is for Everyone. My name's Jad. This is episode 44 of the Learn to Play series. This episode looks at the use of the Blackwood Convention when considering a Grand Slam bid. Let's start with a new deal. This is deal 015. Partner is the dealer. Here is your hand. As always, you value your hand. You have 16 high card points and 0 long points, for a total of 16 points. Your only short suit is a doubleton, so your hand is balanced, and you have 2 biddable suits, spades and clubs. Partner opens the bidding with 2 no trump, and East passes. It's your turn to bid. You interpret partner's bid. As you learned previously, partner's bid shows a balanced hand with 20 to 21 high card points. You apply the rules for responding to a 2 no trump opening bid. You have significantly more than the 4 points required for a positive bid. So, with exactly 4 cards in the spade suit, you make a Stayman bid of 3 clubs. West passes, partner bids 3 spades, and East passes. Once again, it's your turn to bid. You interpret partner's bid. Partner's bid is a response to your Stayman bid, showing 4 or more spades. You check for a fit with partner's major suit. You add your 4 spades to partner's minimum of 4 spades for a total of 8 spades. You have a fit in spades and will play a spade contract, but at what level? Because you have a fit in partner's suit, you start by revaluing your hand. You replace your 0 long points with 1 dummy point for a total of 17 points. You add your 17 points to partner's minimum of 20 for a total of 37 points. You know that you have enough points for a Grand Slam. You also know to check for missing aces before making any slam bid. You have 2 aces and consider using Blackwood to ask partner about aces. But before doing so, you check that all partner's possible responses will allow viable contracts. If partner has 0 aces, you will still be able to bid 5 spades and play that contract. If partner has 1 ace, you will still be able to play a contract of 6 spades. Of course, missing 1 ace will make a contract of 7 spades a very bad idea. And if partner has 2 aces, you will still be able to look for a 7 spade contract. So you are prepared for any response from partner. You bid a Blackwood for no trump. West passes, partner bids 5 hearts, and East passes. It's your turn to bid. You interpret partner's bid. Partner's bid shows 2 aces. You now know that your partnership holds all 4 aces. You know that a Grand Slam contract is still possible, but before you bid 7 spades, there is one more check you can make. You look closely at your kings. You have 2 kings. If partner has 0 kings, you could be in trouble. However, Blackwood can be used to check for kings. Here are the rules. First, you must use Blackwood to ask for aces. And second, your partnership must hold all 4 aces. You meet both these requirements, so you consider making a Blackwood king asking bid of 5 no trump. But before you do, you check your plan for all possible responses by partner. The possible responses from partner mirror those that are made to a Blackwood ace asking bid of 4 no trump, but they are made at the 6 level. With 0 kings, partner bids 6 clubs. With 1 king, partner bids 6 diamonds. With 2 kings, partner bids 6 hearts. With 3 kings, partner bids 6 spades. And with all 4 kings, partner bids 6 clubs. If you ask for kings, the lowest possible spade contract will be 6 spades, even if partner has no kings. But the likelihood of this is very low, so you are willing to accept the risk. You ask partner about kings by bidding a Blackwood 5 no trump. West passes, partner bids 6 hearts, and East passes. It's your turn to bid. You interpret partner's bid. Partner's bid shows 2 kings. This is the best possible response. This raises a very obvious but surprisingly common mistake. If you get the best possible response to a Blackwood bid and then say no to the slam, why did you ask in the first place? Did you make a mistake in asking? You do not make this mistake. You go ahead with your plan and bid 7 spades. West passes, partner passes, and East passes to end the auction. The contract is 7 spades by North. Partner will play the hand and you will be dummy. Now let's look at one more deal. This is deal 016. Once again, partner is the dealer. Here is your hand. As always, you value your hand. You have 14 high card points and 1 long point for a total of 15 points. With 2 doubletons, your hand is semi-balanced, and you have 2 biddable suits, hearts and clubs. Partner opens the bidding with 2 clubs, and East passes. It's your turn to bid. You interpret partner's bid. Partner's bid shows 22 or more points. You check the rules for responding to an opening bid of 2 clubs. As you learned in episode 25, with 8 or more points, you will make a positive bid. And with 1 long suit, you will bid that suit as cheaply as possible. You have only 1 long suit, hearts. You bid 2 hearts. West passes, partner bids 3 clubs, and East passes. It's your turn to bid. You interpret partner's bid. Partner's bid shows a hand that is not balanced and has 5 or more clubs and 0 to 2 hearts. The only suit in which you have a fit is clubs, so you will play a club contract. But at what level? Because you have a fit in partner's suit, you revalue your hand. You replace your 1 long point with 2 dummy points for a new total of 16 points. You add your 16 points to partner's minimum of 22 for a total of 38 points. This is more than the required 37 for a Grand Slam bid. You consider using immediate Blackwood. But first, you need to plan for all responses. You have 0 aces, but several other high cards. Partner has 22 or more points, and so cannot have 0 aces. In fact, it's very unlikely that partner has less than 3 aces. So a small slam of 6 clubs is almost certain, even if partner is missing an ace. You decide to use Blackwood to find out about partner's aces. You bid 4 no trump. West passes, partner bids 5 clubs, and East passes. It's your turn to bid. You interpret partner's bid. Partner's bid literally says 0 or 4 aces. But with 22 or more points, you have already dismissed the possibility that partner holds 0 aces. So, partner has all 4 aces. You continue investigating the possibility of a grand slam. You check the requirements for using Blackwood to ask for kings. You have used Blackwood for aces and know that the partnership holds all 4 aces. You look at the possible responses to Blackwood for kings. You have 3 kings, so the only possible responses from partner are 0 or 1 king. The missing king is the king of clubs, which will be essential for a contract of 7 clubs. But what can you do if partner does not have the king? If partner does not have the king, then the correct response is 6 clubs. This is acceptable as you will not be in an impossible contract. You use Blackwood for kings and bid 5 no trump. West passes, partner bids 6 clubs, and East passes. It's your turn to bid. You interpret partner's bid. Partner's bid shows 0 kings. You are missing the king of trumps and must settle for a small slam. You pass, and West passes to end the auction. The contract is 6 clubs by North. Partner will play the hand and you will be dummy. You always need to be particularly careful in pursuing a slam when the trump suit is clubs. It is very easy to use Blackwood and end up in an impossible contract. This episode covered more of the basics of bridge. It showed you how and when to use the Blackwood convention to ask about partner's kings. In future episodes, I'll cover everything else you'll need to be a confident and successful bridge player. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and consider subscribing to this channel. Until next time, this is Jad reminding you that bridge is for everyone.